Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Rell Battle about Killing It, premiering very soon on Peacock. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me, brother. I'm super happy, excited to be here, PD Beats.
Absolutely. I love the show. We talked about it a little bit before we started. I mean, has it hit you that it's finally coming up? It's pretty crazy, right? You make something, you're waiting, and then it's going to be out there, disseminated for the masses. It's pretty nuts.
Man, I think we finished like February the 10th or something, and already. So I feel like I was just in New Orleans filming. So it happened really fast, but that's the internet now, you know what I mean?
It's pretty crazy. You know, obviously labeled as a comedy, it's very funny. You know, you and Craig's scenes are just unbelievable. I mean, no spoilers, but you know, your brother's on the show and everything. And
don't worry, it's not a Marvel show.
Well, no, but it's hard because you want to go in very fresh. I feel like I went in very fresh with the show and I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? You watch the trailer, don't read anything else, just watch the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a comedy, it's hilarious, but there's some serious undertones here. And I'm just wondering if you noticed that when you're making this show.
You know, it's funny, man, I had no idea. The audition was an initial scene with myself and Craig.
Yep. Just
kind of messing around, me chastising him about getting his life together. And it wasn't until about, I want to say, around the second or third week, Luke, our producer, showrunner, he goes, "Hey, man, we got some scenes coming up that you're going to have to really, you're going to have to kind of change your character a little bit for the scenes." I had no idea what he was saying. I read it and I go, oh. So every character has that comedic and more dramatic element to the show. We wanted to portray real people. I think we did a good job.
Yeah, you did an amazing job. There's some moments too where you're supposed there's moments where you're like laughing at it and you're like, oh, it's supposed to be funny, but it's like, oh man, that's kind of deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's hard to do, right?
It's a testament to the writers, man. They really wrote something different. They took a risk. Peacock is the kind of network you can kind of take those risks on.
Yep.
We got really lucky that everything just kind of came to play together.
Absolutely. Amazing cast. Got to work with so many amazing people in this. What was it like kind of just working with everyone? And even if you didn't have like scenes with them, it's pretty cool to kind of just see the cast for this show. It's pretty awesome.
Well, you know, everybody's great. They're all comedic beasts in their own right. Craig Robinson from Office fame and Hot Tub Time Machine. Yep. You got Scott MacArthur, he's from The Mick. And you got the wonderful, talented Claudia O'Dirty from Love. So these are all comedic beasts, and we all get to kind of do our own styles. And we're not in every single scene together, but as you watch the show, you'll see how everything kind of plays out into one big series of these characters kind of intertwining. But you got to wait and see that to the end of the series. Yeah.
The focal point obviously is the kind of American dream, kind of getting big, rich and famous, so to speak, and the Python competition, and it's right there. Yeah. But it's interesting. Sometimes you're watching it. Yeah, there's obviously the scenes where they're like going and hunting the pythons, but you kind of forget about that a lot, and you kind of just focus like you're watching a show basically about life. You know what I mean?
The show's about family. The show's about friendship. It's about loyalty. It's about trying to make a way out of no way. Mm-hmm. The snakes just happen to be the thing some of them do to get there. Yeah. So you don't want the snakes to distract you. There are deeper elements about love and loss and family throughout the whole project. That's why we kind of wanted to bring people together in these times to kind of enjoy that.
When you were young, in terms of like the storytelling aspect of things and comedy and everything, like, did you know that comedy was like like when you established this is what you wanted to do, right? Did you know it was going to be comedy, the genre you wanted to work in, or did it kind of just happen?
Did I know that it was going to be comedy, the genre? Not really, man. It kind of sneaks up on you, you know. I always feel like comedians are chosen. I'm a stand-up, and it's something that I had no desire to do whatsoever. I didn't think it was. I thought it was corny. I didn't know how you did it. I didn't know what an open mic was. And you know, over the course of time living in LA, I just see myself. I just was like, things just started happening where I found myself on the comedy stage every night for years, man. So, you know, when it bites you, baby, and you're stuck.
Are you seeing like stand-up comedians going and working on TV and film? Are you seeing the other way around a little bit too? Are you seeing people that never did stand-up going on like shows like The Office or anything and then maybe going to do stand-up comedy, or that doesn't really happen?
I mean, people, listen, the rapper T.I. is doing stand-up now.
Yep.
Will Smith did a little bit of stand-up. A lot of actors are kind of coming over to testing the ground and see what they can do. You know, Jeremy Piven's doing stand up now, so it's another sport. It's a tough sport, but it's like me. If I picked up a guitar tomorrow, I better learn how to play. You know?
No, absolutely. Well, I think too, it's funny with like Popternative, right? I'm wearing so many hats, and I'm doing the interviews, I'm doing the editing, and I'm doing everything. Right. And I love this part of it, right? I don't sometimes love the editing part of it, but like I have to. You know what I mean?
You gotta love the worst parts of it for the progress. It's about the journey, man. So that late night editing, your back and your neck hurts. You know it's gonna come out for a great project.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the pandemic helped too, because I wasn't able to go out a lot, but like my idea of a good time was just late night editing, like you said.
I apologize. You got to look at my face for the next couple of hours to get this one out. So my bad.
But it's an honor and privilege, man. You're so good in the show. I'm so excited to chat with you about it, and I genuinely just love the show so much. Like I really, really loved it. I had a chance to see it before. I've seen a good amount of episodes. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I've seen a good chunk of it. And
what episode you get to?
I'm up to episode 5. Okay, so I've seen the first 4, which I think is a decent sample size. You know what I mean?
It's good amount for me to be like, this guy did his homework. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did his research.
But I want to get back to the stand-up comedy real quickly. What can you tell me? I always love whenever I have stand-up comedians on my show. I've interviewed like Jimmy Kennedy. I've asked him this question, so I want to ask you this question. What is a misconception about stand-up comedy that you can share with me on the top of your head?
A misconception about stand-up. I think people think all stand-ups are like disturbed, mentally ill people. And I don't necessarily think that's true. There are a lot of them. Let's not get it twisted.
But also like outsiders, right? Like that also thing too, right?
It does attract a lot of people with issues. But no, people just kind of find things funny. Most stand-ups are pretty intelligent people, deep thinkers. The average stand-up could be a philosopher, a professor in philosophy. I think we constantly are forced to think of every intricate thing about life, every concept, idea, worldview. So and as well as crafting material that can appeal to hundreds of thousands of millions of people. Yeah, it's time and effort and energy. So I think people might not. They think it's just going up on stage and talking when you don't see the work in the open mics, grinding to that part. So I do think it's an underrated craft. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember when I asked Jamie Kennedy, he's like, the biggest misconception I could think of is people just think I go up and wing it and just improvise for like 40 minutes. He's like, yeah, of course. Like I'm able to kind of just go and just improvise like something.
I wish.
Yeah. I know. It's great. Want to get back to the show. You know what? I'm going to put this out after the 14th and 15th, so it'll be out, because there's an episode I really want to talk to you about, and like a little spoiler alert. Well, not really, but the convention, right?
Well, who cares?
The convention, I can't, like, that must have been just so much fun to film.
So 3, I think it is.
It's so good. I love that episode.
That was fun. We took the convention center in New Orleans.
Yeah,
we had like a whole wing, man, and we shot the scene, and all of our characters kind of met up, and we're all just trying to hustle in this convention. So it's a pretty big scene that kind of defines, I think, for the first time my character a lot, Craig and Claudia's character.
Yeah.
And kind of show how we really are outside of our little circle. So it's a good episode.
But again, that's an episode, a lot of funny, a lot of gut busting, laughing moments, no doubt. But like, it hits hard. Serious undertone, man. I'm wondering if like, because I'm going to tell all my friends to watch it. I do radio hits. I recommend shows and everything. I'm wondering if people are going to resonate with me how hard it hits. Because like I'm wondering if people are just going to be, oh, it's a comedy, Craig Robertson. Cool, I'm going to watch it. You know what I mean? It's deep. And I'm hoping people see that part of it.
Yeah, you kind of got to, the guys, Luke and Dan, the creators of the show, they didn't just create an off-brand kind of sticky comedy. They wanted you to kind of dig into something. They wanted to show real people going through real things with funny at the same time. So you kind of have to follow to see what happens next. It's not one of those shows that starts from 1A every day. You got to follow and see what happens. I think they think of the season as a full story that we have to kind of present instead of just one episode. So you can't watch episode 2 and skip to episode 5.
No.
You kind of got to follow.
And there's a lot of shows out there that you can also go and just like, grab a slice of pizza, just like have your laptop, do some work, watch in the background. You got to pay attention to what, like with this show, because you'll enjoy it a lot more too.
Exactly.
Which is great. Whether it's the stand-up comedy, whether it's acting, Rell Battle's a storyteller. That's what you do, basically. What excites you about storytelling specifically?
What excites me about storytelling, man? Well, you have specific comedians, man. I might be getting too deep into the comedy weeds right here, but you have punchline comics, yep. You have observational humorists, you have character comics, you have impressionist comics, and then you have storytellers. Storytellers, you have to kind of encompass all of those elements to tell your story.
Yep.
You do the character of your mom, you do the impression of your dad, you have a punchline that your little brother said. You know, you have to bring everything in to present and paint that picture on stage. So storytelling is, I think, the strongest tool for comedians. That's why the best do it. Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby, you know, you the best storytellers, Kevin Hart. They have to paint a picture throughout the whole process. Yeah.
I don't know if you're able. These might be like secrets or anything, but like when you have like a bit, like, do you ever have moments where you're just like out somewhere and you hear someone say anything and you're like, oh, that might be a bit. Like, does that happen? I'm just curious.
That happens last night. You know, your brain as a comedian is trained to kind of find material. You know?
That's so cool.
You ever seen the Da Vinci Code when you just like see the code on the wall, you can kind of come to them. It's kind of like the Matrix, bro. Like you also hear something, you can kind of go, it sticks in your brain and just kind of hangs out there. And the next morning you might wake up and go, oh, remember that girl spilled her drink and her boyfriend, he tried to clean it up and he threw up on himself, and it just kind of comes when it wants to. You know, I don't try to force it, but it's like my radar's always on.
Oh, absolutely. No, that was a really good way. Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's true. You just want to always get the material. I have like some friends that I know that they could be stand-up comedians because they just say funny things and they're not trying to be funny, and I'm just like, right. I'm always like, hey Ryan, that's a bit, and he's like, get out of here. He's like, I'm not gonna do stand-up.
Yeah. Hey, look, it takes a friend like you to get the friends on stage, man. You ask most comics, they go, my friend bet me. You know, your friend could be the next John Mulaney.
I think we're on to something. Yeah, I gotta text him after this interview.
Cash that check.
He's gonna watch this and know who we're talking about too. I'm gonna send him. I'm just gonna send him. I'm gonna go to like the 12:09 minute mark of this interview and just watch it. He's gonna be, wait a second.
What's his name?
Ryan.
Hey Ryan, get your ass up out on the stage, man. Stop playing. He's gonna be like, I think I will. And then bomb and then blame me.
That's awesome. Rell, this was a blast. Thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really appreciate it.
No, PDBs anytime, man. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you.
Killing it on Peacock. They're going to be able to see it super soon. And I'm so excited for people. It's funny because you watch something as an interviewer, then you do interviews with the cast, and you're like excited for like, you're obviously excited to see it. Like, but like, I'm excited for people to check it out. You know what I mean?
Of course. Thursday on Peacock, man.
Thursday on Peacock. Where can people follow you on Instagram to keep update with everything? Like, is it Instagram?
I'm Rell Battle everything. Instagram, Twitter, website, RELLBATTLE. Follow me in the gram.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Rell Battle, who you can catch in Killing It, streaming soon on Peacock, and PD Beats, signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.